I still have to fix my intro. And I really don't care because I'm working on some new stuff for the show. So why? Can I explain to you guys? Let's take a little side note. First, let me be the smart host. Let me acknowledge my audience, which today will also be my guests. Adam K in the chat. We have Henrik Thorntonson. We have Data Wasteland, and we had Malevolent Rider in here. Now, before I move on with the show, I want to say I appreciate everybody for coming. Thank you so much. It's been an interesting few days, and I want to say I'm tired. I'm beat. Doing some side jobs. One of them involves sand that got wet and I ground out my knuckles. Why do I sound like I'm echoing to myself? What the hell did I do? Am I okay? Do people hear fucked up shit? Am I losing my hearing? Moving on. I have this thing called... Thanks, Henrik. I have this thing... Hey, director, how you doing? I have this thing called a show, and I really enjoy doing this show. The problem is that some days I just don't have the time to sit down. And I want to, again, just say, you know what? Memorial Day weekend, I'm sure everybody understood why there was no show. I was doing a bunch of stuff, getting things ready, doing some real life shit, and it happens. So, the show. I've said this before. I'll say it again. It's weird how some days I can sit down and try to find things that sound reasonable and general to talk about, to fit on the board. And other days I can sit here and scratch my head for a while and never quite find exactly what I'm looking for. But I try. I try to find things that are somewhat relative or somewhat fun or throw people for a loop. I try to be interesting. I try to put a lot of thought into it. So I sat down a few hours ago and I tried to make it a point to sit here. And by accident, I learned how to do some new stuff on a program that I've been using for a while. So I am working on some new layouts. I'm debating changing the theme up. Every so often it feels like certain things on the show after every, 15, 20 some odd episodes, it feels like I need to freshen it up. So I've been working on what I hope is some cool new features, and I've been checking out the ins and outs of some of the programs that I have and see what else there is that I don't know about. So with that being said, I haven't made too many changes today, and I haven't fixed any of the other stuff I screwed up for the last update. We're just going to run it how it is, like I have been for a couple days, and hopefully, if I get time this weekend, Monday morning show might have a fresh look. We'll see how that goes. Well, let's see. Yep, everybody's hearing me. Director's going good. Well, absolutely. Things happen. I did try to put a couple posts up and things. I try to get the show up in time. Some days I'm a little late so that people don't get the warnings or alerts or whatever it is. So you don't know what you don't know, I know. Yep. So we're gonna spend some time on that. I've lost myself in my own OBS settings. Here we go. There's something right there. We'll click. And then somewhere in there we'll click. Things seem to be running smooth. Oh, right. Here we are. We have a board. We have 18 topics. We have 5 viewers in the chat according to all the numbers that are popping up on my screen. That should be perfect. The board is a bit quiet. Oh shit. That would be my fault. Let me click. Let me double check this setting. Sorry about that. The rest of the noises should be good. It sounded fine to me. What did I forgot. Yeah, okay. Alright. Yeah, okay. Everything should be good now. Oh, look at that. You won yourself some bones. This is a show that you can invite the whole audience into the conversation. It is. It's kind of nice because the show's still small. And as it grows, I'm hoping to get people on the show. But I don't push to people get on to get a certain person or people on more than once. Although I might try to start doing another run of, would everybody want another shot? Get some previous guests back on just to draw a little more attention to the show, if that's at all possible. So what are we doing? Everybody in the chat. We are looking for today's first topics. When it grows, they get it on. That's for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I need a quick shower. Chips you gamble with. Oh, you know what I never mentioned, which is kind of cool? If you do happen to, by chance, toss money, not only does it make cool sound effects, but does the bot do it yet? I haven't figured out if the bot's programmed to do it, but I give you like 100 bones per $1. So a bone is worth a penny. Okay. A minute of your time is also worth a penny, so you get $1 for hanging out for an hour. So figure that out however you want. Has anybody thrown a topic? Well, we got school. Let me see if anybody had anything before that. No, we're going with school. School's interesting today. Getting a new box to think in. If we could create robots to teach and monitor students, would they be more or less efficient? Okay. So, let me start by saying when I started this question earlier today, because this is one of the questions I wrote, my first thought was, the original question was something along the lines of, what if we had teachers like Johnny Five from Short Circuit? And Johnny Five got a laser with targeting, so he could defend the students and scare them enough to keep them in line. That was my humor content. Ha 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 ha. Where's my laughing audience? They're up here. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Enough. Shut up. I got other jokes later. Okay. I think it would be more efficient. The question is, how does the robot respond to things? Everything would have to be a programmed action. And a thought that I have on the programmed action is, think about what we're doing here. And data, you're running a little late. Think about whether or not they'd have to be programmed by whatever the municipality for the school system is. In most cases, it's the state municipalities that program school curriculum. And it would be basically taught how it's written in a book, verbatim, because it's programmed and not given to somebody who would have the ability to find fun or creative ways to teach. It would be taught exactly how the people who intended the curriculum to be put out wrote it. Yes, we have slightly discussed the programs are written by programmed programs. Increasingly, programs are programmed by programs. Yes, we've discussed that, haven't we, Data? The thing that I think would be a benefit would be, well, look at our current Me Too movement type situation with teachers. And this goes for male and female teachers. If you notice, more female teachers are prevalent at having sexual misconduct with children in their class than men, but there's more female teachers than men. So it could happen at an equal rate, something like that. Not going into extreme detail. Robots bad, That's my stance. Sorry. I think in some cases robots would be good if monitored by a silent teacher in the corner that just made sure the robot didn't fry out and kill all the students. Maybe equipped with laser guided bullets, something or other. I don't know. Protect the kids. Little head that pops through the wall. We need turrets and all sorts of stuff in our schools so that they feel safe. Why not put robots? Robots will likely make us terribly insecure, but I would insist would well be utterly fantastic. Sex bots not in the school. No sex bots in school. Maybe in college. That sounds funny, but a good plan, Boris. Alright, I'm always trying to think, obviously with this topic, I'm always trying to think of ways that we can improve upon or discuss the education system. And one way that we can obviously improve upon the system is to remove the human characteristics of teaching. And human tendencies, biological tendencies, are to desire sex. It's in us. Everybody wants it. Women deny it sometimes, but they want it. You know, if you just gotta whisper in their ear and rub them in the right. Never mind. Back to school. Robots, terribly efficient. They will run only as they're programmed, and they'll interact as they're designed to. Will a student be able to play on a substitute teacher? Turn all education into video games. We've discussed something like that. I would fear the smart kids hacking those robots. What if they turn a teacher bot into a trolling bot? Well, I suspect a student would be capable. Several students. And honestly, don't get me wrong, we'd need a teacher to monitor. But I honestly think it would be awesome if you could identify the students that were hacking into their robot teachers and trying to find ways to bypass the security. These are the kids that you identify and go, okay, well, if you're capable of this, let's move you over here and focus you on that. Robots or designated programming would be able to identify and establish what kids are good at and be able to help curve the curriculum to what benefits the students. You could put 3 robots in a class, and if a student needed help, it could go to any one of them, whereas you could only viably put 1 or 2 teachers, if there's a student assistant teacher or something like that, into a class. Not a student assistant. Assistant. What are they? The ones in training. The student teachers. In any case, it would, one, cost less. It would be more feasible. Another thing I always complain about with education is the cost seems to be way too high on the taxpayer. We can't really afford to do much else if our school and land taxes keep going up. If they were, let's say, not necessarily teachers, even in the hallways, could robots make the school safer? They could identify threats, record conversations, notice certain systems or things that happen. Could we use robotic programming and technology? Could we use this almost bot system, something like what YouTube has, to turn around and monitor what's being said in the school? Monitoring conversations, monitoring innuendo, monitoring harassment. I don't want to say bullying, but you know inevitably that would be the target that the school chooses to use for that. So I don't know how far to push that. However, it does allow them to add to their teaching force without costing on the long-term budget. So I kind of think it's a cool idea as long as it's something that is viable to assist in what's going on or the everyday actions of the school, not just something that, okay, kids, today we're going to play with the robot. Okay, that's an expensive robot. It needs to be doing something. Teaching science class. What better than a robot for statistics and chemicals and measurements and shit like that, right? Or computer programming. What better than a robot? Something that had maybe bilateral processors or something, operated on its own system and could just plug into your computer and go, you did this wrong, unplug and walk away. That would be cool. Kind of sci-fi-y. I don't know. What are we doing next? I saw some stripper heels from Data Wasteland. Way out of turn. Way out of turn. What are we doing next, though? Is it those stripper heels? Are we going to hop on those platforms? Let's play with the robot today. Bye, Wild Fox. Oh, just so that everybody knows, Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe, and I confirmed on, I want to say it's Wild Fox Appears channel. Stay tuned to my Twitter and possibly Discord to find out I should be a guest on a show coming up. That ought to be fun. I guess we are doing platforms. Hello. Let's see. When is the best time to get involved in a growing platform and not be left behind the trend? Gee, how many people on here are trying to be aspiring growing creators on YouTube? And no, Saturday I'm with Data, Sunday I'm a guest. Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, is the Numbed Wasteland. Wow, I've got a lot going on in my days. What I'm trying to say in this question, or what I'm wondering here with this question is, you see right now people making a rush towards BitChute because it looks like they're making the advancements. It looks like they're growing. Things look to be doing better. And the policies and the procedures that they're doing seem to be on track. The creator is very vocal. He's verbal. He's interacting with the people that are joining the channel. And he's trying to be a part of this community to understand not only what the needs are, but what the desires are and what the intent to grow is. And working with the creators is obviously going to be something that the creators are deeply going to be after. But to what point? How many times should you put yourself out there while making a comment and insinuate that you hold a position or hold a side when you're running a website that you're trying to be a free platform to market your opinion? If you look like you hold one side, are you personally, or are you taking your personal side to your professional establishment? Are you allowing in the programming shady things to happen because what? This makes people somewhat reluctant to jump into these platforms. A lot of people were on VidMe and Maker Support. Oh, look at this new platform. They're doing awesome. They came out. They're doing this and this and this. And they're wonderful to their creators. And then there's a snag. And the whole platform wrinkles up because they were running on a specific setup. And something stopped. And now they're not running quite properly. And they can't hold up to the test of time. Well, let's apply this to a much larger site. YouTube has almost never made money. Have they ever made a penny? Or have they? We could discuss that separately in another time. But we all happily got involved with YouTube, and how they run the site is constantly changing. More so than any of us wanted to ever see out of YouTube. And though the changes went for the better a few years back, and creators started to benefit, the change is now going negative, and creators are almost failing. If you look at this to a creation ratio, I spend far more time working than what I make out of it. Obviously, that's not a big deal to most. They have other resources, by the way. Why I wasn't here other days, out trying to earn a few bucks, doing what I gotta do, working. I'm always trying to stay as close to that trend. What happens if I fall behind? What happens if I don't follow when everybody else jumps into that platform? Did I miss the opportunity by not being there? By not pushing that platform and getting people to follow me on that platform? Am I falling behind? This is something that 2020 is always a little clearer. Once you realize what happened, you can say, well, I didn't do that and I know I should have, or I did do that and I shouldn't have. But current vision on an item, anything you do is a possible risk, possible reward. And you have to weigh your options when you jump into them. So if you're going to join BitChute, it's a free channel. If you want to follow me on BitChute and get me to... I don't even know how many subscribers I have. I don't think I have any. I know I subscribe to a couple of people. It's in there. The bots will give you the description, whatever. But should everybody move over to BitChute? Now, this goes back to questions I've asked before. If we all moved to BitChute, if I were a large creator, or I banded with some large creators, and we all moved over to BitChute and took the audience over there, took the videos over there, took everything to BitChute, wouldn't BitChute, as it grows, have to then adopt some of the same changes and rules that YouTube has had to make because of their size, because of their growth, because of the customers, because of those of us and others getting on the site and freely posting what we want, and unfortunately and possibly offending people, or worse, causing problems and actually posting stuff like beheadings? This is always a question of mine, that how is a platform going to maintain what they set out to do if when they grow, they're going to encounter boundaries in entering into new areas geographically? You go into a new country, there's going to be a couple of changes of rules. Laws are going to be different. In England shortly, you're probably not going to be able to put a link in your video description, or that's going to cost you. How many people are going to afford that? How is that going to affect people and sites' abilities to run in Britain? BitChute won't be able to link things. YouTube won't be able to link things. You're going to have to verify that they have a license. It's going to be another hoop to jump through. It's going to be something else the bot's going to be looking for, whether or not your links are authorized. It's so much hassle just to try and grow to new areas, that new companies are always going to run into these problems as they grow. I still have to look more into BitChute. I mean, I have an account over there. I don't know what it's really worth to me right now. Again, you know, if you want to follow me on BitChute, it's for some reason not uploading my streams. So one of these days I'm going to sit down and mass upload a bunch of streams if I can. Here we are back at the board. Hey, look at that. The board looks like a donut. Look at that. A donut. Money, internet, time's up. Money. I don't have money on here. I don't have internet on here. But, link text, a price for a reference. What a farce. Yeah, it's definitely... This is why I said, a couple of months ago now, I think, if a governing body ends up developing for the internet, what would they have to... What would they do? How would the rules be? Would it still change country to country? How would they figure it out? Are we going subject what the fuck or fuck the world? Absolutely. What type of global catastrophe would result in world cooperative effort to overcome such an event? if the world suffered for some electromagnetic burst and we lost technology, the weird event would be that you'd have to send people from countries over to just try and communicate and cooperate with other countries by old style methods that some people just don't do anymore. Maybe they do. It would have to be something that threatened everybody on the face of the earth equally and wasn't something that would inherently destroy one country or area or species or anything like that. Alien invasion, perhaps. Perhaps the aliens didn't make deals and there was some hope of defeating them. Here's an odd question for you. Now, we on Earth, and this goes to the alien question, because this is pretty open as to where this can go. We on Earth have different types of how to run our planet, and our planet isn't run as a cooperative effort. Let's say the species that should come visit us, what say their political leanings? How would we look at that? Would they be like a militaristic alien and one person says it and the order goes out to whoever it needs to go out to? Are they something we've never seen, heard of, or thought of? Have we ever thought about what type of alien governing body and decisions would have to be for the aliens to be destructive towards us or make certain efforts? Have we thought about different types of government that may work or could be used in different ways on other planets or in other situations? Global flood. Honestly, if it's something that... if it's an environmental struggle, worldwide environmental struggle, you won't see any country help any other country until post-environmental struggle. And we all know this is going to happen. Global catastrophe, all world leaders that obviously can afford any type of bunker, which is most, are going to end up in a bunker until whatever happens and they can safely look at it. To get the world to overcome something, it would have to be extraterrestrial or some sort of known impending doom that people don't think of. And look, some of my favorite creators are going live right now. This is why I might have gone early. I'm going to think my show time's over a little bit and see what's up. Don't worry, guys. I'll keep you all informed. You're the most important people in my internet life right now. You're all so special. Wait, what was I talking about? Global catastrophe. What was I doing here? Something that we'd all have to work together would be the knowledge. You know, you guys are probably right. The alien invasion, maybe asteroids, something from space would have to be the kicker. I'd almost say that would be certain. Like the rise and impending doom of an alien species, or just a ship in broad daylight, or several hundred ships just circling the earth and we can all clearly see them. That would obviously unite the countries for a common effort to defeat him. Wait, that's a movie. Independence Day. And many, many others. I'm sure you guys will throw in the chat here as we go. I had internet as a topic. I thought we had... I don't know what's going on. I don't have internet as a topic. I do have internet as a topic. I'm an idiot. Nope. I'm a numbskull. This is interesting to think about, though, because beyond it being a catastrophe, what else could be done to get the world to actually stop and think and try to successfully find a way to be cooperative and work together without necessarily having open borders world government type thing. And is that what the EU was after? And if that's what we as Earthlings think is the best government, then oh shit. I don't want to know what my grandkids are going to see if and when they have actual space travel to do things. So, the thought of what would bring the governments the ability to cooperate, regardless of their government motive or means. Let's say, for instance, North and South Korea strike an awesome bargain, and there's a deal in there that the U.S. is going to bring support and training to North Korea in exchange for them maybe making some laws and protections for their citizens. Is that right? Should we have created a world government where the world government aim is to make sure that, kind of in a socialist way, working with capitalism, that the means that are being wasted get redistributed to those that can use it, that we put training and people where they need to be? I don't know. What would it take for a world cooperative effort? I think global catastrophe is high on the list, so that's where I started. But I heard the internet. Let's click on the internet. Internet it is. NumbedSkull says internet for internet's sake, because somebody said internet, and I'm just going to keep repeating internet. Is time on the internet different from in real life? It certainly feels that way, doesn't it? Now, I don't know about you. This seems like a strange event sometimes. Other people who sit and talk in front of their mic will tell you this, that on certain days it feels like that hour or that 2 hours flies by, absolutely gone before you realize what's happened to your show. I mean, holy shit, I'm at the end of the hour. Not really, but you get there and you're like, wow, that was a great show. And other days, you try hard, but the show just seems to, wow, it's only been 20 minutes, and I thought we were almost 3/4 of the way through the show. Damn. It's really hard to judge your internet time to your real life time. So it's equally hard then, taking a short-term perspective, to look at things that happened on the internet a week ago. What about the shit we were talking about last month? What about the shit we were talking about at Christmas? And these things periodically come back up again from time to time when people remember the topic, but doesn't Christmas seem so long ago when you sit down and do shit on your computer? But when you're walking through the store and you're not thinking about your computer shit, you're not looking at your phone, you're thinking, okay, this is what we've done from Christmas until now, and why is it, okay, Christmas, whatever, holiday, or you need it to be as a time reference, end of the year, or whatever. Yep, year's almost half gone. End of this month is half a year. But doesn't that just make you think that, oh, wow, Christmas, that was 6 months ago. That was a lot of time. And then you think, wow, Christmas on the internet, holy shit, that feels like a year ago, maybe two. Pizzagate, holy shit, that was like, 2010 internet time, wasn't it? Doesn't the perspective start to feel very different from your time spent on the internet to your time spent online? And a lot of people vaguely remember Daddy 05, if at all. And a lot of people remember other internet controversies that have flared up and people involved in things that were done. But, boy, shit feels like forever ago sometimes, that just happened a month ago. And you hear people refer to it like that all the time. It's like, oh, yeah, that happened 3 days ago. Okay. I heard about that 3 days ago. Why are you repeating it? Because this is fresh news. No, it's not. I heard about it 3 days ago. Did you hear about the thing that happened today? I handed the time to Data. Data, you have the time. I remember Hawaii 50. Wait, it's Hawaii 50. Should put a space in there. Time's up? No, it's not. What the hell's going on in here? I would say that what's in vogue moves OB more quickly than it sued thanks to the net. Okay. Maybe if I read that on another screen, it might make sense. I would say that it's in vogue moves or more quickly. Moves. Boris, it's anarchy. Anarchy, I tell you. Timer, what? Oh, only do it when the timer runs out. That's right. Every time you put timer, Boris. I love the bots. The bots are snarky. They need more programming. Maybe if it rains tomorrow, I'll do a programming stream in the afternoon, or maybe we'll do it. What day don't I have a show? Tuesday. Tuesday, I don't have anything I'm doing right now, I think. I don't know. In other words, trends move on more quickly on the net. Yes, JCTV. Jason, you're very right. Trends absolutely move more quickly, but it's not just trends. It's almost like whether time feels like it's moving quickly or not, your perception of time that's passed changes from sitting on the computer to doing things in real life. When you do something in real life, an event in real life could match up with something you did on the computer. For the computer, it's going to seem so much farther away than the event that happened in real life. You ever take a photograph, a real photograph of a picture, and put that photograph up? Take another picture the same day and have it on your phone, and maybe have posted it to Twitter or something, and then get that reminder. 1 year ago today, this happened. Wow, that seems like forever ago. But then when you walk by the photograph at your door, it's like, I remember it like it was yesterday. Is anybody starting to see what I'm saying? Your perception of time and your remembrance of things that happen. Maybe it's because let's use it as speed. Let's use light. So we believe that the faster you travel, the closer to the speed of light, the more your ability to perceive the travel of time changes. And time for you, perspective to time for somebody else as you travel faster to the speed of light, changes. So what if having the internet, the information that you get on the internet just seems so abundant, so immense, that you're processing it so fast? It seems like time's flying because of the amount. But in real life, you're just processing what's happening around you. You forget about the internet. And then when you get back to it, it's just so long ago because you're dealing with so much. Is that making sense, or am I just a numbskull? 3 for both. Wow, Data, you want to keep up on time. Okay. We have a request from one of the members in chat, and I can't remember which one, to play bingo on my board, apparently. Bingo, 6x3 bingo. Something. I don't know. I'm getting towards the end. We have about 18 minutes or so. 18 and some change. So what are we doing, guys? What are we all doing? We're all just sitting back. We're relaxing. We're taking in the content offered to us by the creators that sit in their chairs behind their mics on the internet and present with us, in my case, cool shit that's not really moving but has some moving features and I need to work on and make cooler shit. And, other people have cool shit. Should I put a coin jar in here? I don't want to put a coin jar in here. I want something cool. I wanna design something cool, and I don't have anything in mind yet. So we'll work on that. What are we doing next? I'm ignoring for a minute. Transportation. I heard transport. Tation. Why have we not created mechanized zip lines to get around in crowded cities? This one's supposed to be funny. Haha. Oh, it's a fail, isn't it? Okay, so who are we betting in? Batman. It's the car. Chicks take the car. Okay, so I want you guys to think about this. This is my thought process. What the hell have I not asked about in transportation? How can you get from one place to another? I've even had to talk about Elon Musk because somebody has to explain to me how you're going to, in 3 miles, get to 800 miles an hour and then slow down to a stop without breaking a bone in your body. Okay. With that said, what if above traffic you had these buildings that literally diversified and took you almost to the front door, and you got off on a platform in front of the building? So instead of going to the subway station, you go to this one tower and you hop on this platform, and all of a sudden you're click click and possibly closed on rainy and windy days. I think it would be fun. Massive safety and general liability, Boris. But think about it. Who doesn't want to travel around New York City on a zip line? Please, we would have to have zip lines that are the size of a fat person's leg. I understand that. But you gotta think. Futurama did it, sort of. Well, have we talked about vacuum tubes? I think I even brought up vacuum tubes, and I didn't think about Futurama when we did that. But zip lines! I want to know, Elon Musk, are you watching my show right now? Check this out. This is a new state-of-the-art idea. This is the coolest thing. All the towns are going to want this. What you got to do is you got to put these 4-inch cables from building to building. And then you create this one building that stands at the tallest end of the local area. And then people go to that building. It's like a bus station or a terminal or something. And then they go up to their zipline station. They sit in a chair and you hit that lever and they go... Talk about instantaneous travel. Okay, I'm not sure how you'd slow down at the end, whether, your chair would have to turn around, and as you get to the end, it hits the sill on the door, and you go flying out. Be ready to run! I needed a guest for this question, I think. This question required somebody to bounce the humor off. Real life now has suicide booths. Hey, check this thing out. Oh, only a quarter. What does it do? Bzz, bzz, bzz. Oh, that was refreshing. I saw that episode of Futurama. You have to get the building first. You have to get to the building first. But if you got to the building 2 miles away, you still go traveling and get to it. Okay, well, ski lifts have those portional movement things. What about ski lifts? Think about this, guys. We already have regular practice transportation using cables and harnesses and benches. Why can't we just ski lift people from building to building? I want to sit down on the corner and end up somewhere up on the World Trade Center. Well, Empire State Building. I'm thinking World Trade Center because Dad is in here, and I'm thinking about the last show we did and what I'm supposed to do. And all I can think is that damn World Trade Center sinking in the background right now. Don't ask me why. Empire State Building. I've been on the top of that one. But I'd love to take a ski lift to the top of the building. Okay, the wind might be a little bad. We might need some seatbelts, some sort of way for the thing to grapple onto the line at high heights. maybe curved buildings going up. Maybe if we had some angled buildings going up the city, and then you can get on those ski lifts going up the angled building, and then hop on another one and go down the next angle and zip across the city in minutes. I think it would be fun. How come nobody has designed a zip line ski lift harness system for Detroit? Well, somebody? Anybody? Okay, never mind. I don't know. It is a crazy idea, but tell me it doesn't sound like fun. And it's just as creative as digging a subway under the subway and trying to do 800 miles in 3 miles. Too many bullets. That's true. Too many bullets in Detroit and Chicago and a lot of other ones. Well, I said like NumbedSkull. It's expensive. I bet you, Tim, I bet you it would be cheaper to fill New York City with zip lines or Los Angeles with zip lines than it would be to dig a tunnel system underneath 3 miles worth of Los Angeles. Don't you? Don't you think wires and cables and maintenance on that would be a whole lot easier than a bunch of tunnels underneath a town that already shakes like hell? Hey guys, earthquake, get off the zip line. Maybe the zip lines would probably be built with some sort of shock absorber that could take an impact up to like a 6 or a 7.0. Think about what you'd have to have for like bungee jumping kind of thing. Imagine the tight springs and supports that you could put on those zip lines and those ski harnesses. Imagine the safety systems that could be designed and the impact people could have on such a travel system. What happens if that travel system becomes nationwide? What if you could hop in this little car that just rode across the cable, a zip line across the United States? I have 13 more seconds to fill. What if zip lines were powerful enough to carry these little cars that were actually like 2 or 4 person cars, and you could take your family car, drive it down the road, hook it to your zip line support, and press the go button? There we go. Time's up. I'm afraid of heights. All right. You have a lot of equipment that'd be too expensive to repair due to bullet damage. How much bullet damage does a 4-inch steel line take? I think creating the steel would be the difficult part. Rigging it up like 40 floors above everything, or building a building that's 45 degrees on all sides, like a circus tent with a receiver flat plateau at the top. Things are, they're definitely gonna be weird. They're definitely gonna be weird. I had to throw something fun in there. We have one more. Somebody say it. Somebody say it if that's what we're doing. Is that what we're doing, everybody? Well, video games. Did I really get video games, Adam K? Is that your final answer? Yes, you constantly have to check the lines. It's like a roller coaster ride in the morning. You gotta make sure it's checked. And we have government. Alright, well, if we're gonna pick government, then I think video games was first. We're gonna have to do video games. Video games it is. Is what you do and say during a game a signal of your subliminal thought and or training? I think I also meant to put like subconscious in here, but subliminal was the word that came to mind when I wrote this question, apparently. Oh, here's one trending from the few previous questions, trying to, of course, look at different aspects. Are you trained? Are you being taught subliminal thought, or are you using subconscious thought when you're playing a video game? Do these things cross your mind? And again, if you play a racing game and step away from the racing game, get in a car, do you sometimes hit the pedal a little harder? Anybody ever play those old bicycle BMX games? On their way to a buddy's house or something, you know, you take your system over, they'd have the game, you plug your system into their TV, they'd plug the game in that they borrowed from a friend, and you'd sit there and play something for a while. Then you'd put it back in your backpack, you'd get on your bicycle, and you'd start trying to hop every curve, see what kind of jump you could get out of the next grass knoll. Then you'd fly out across the street, hit a damn hot hole, and go flipping over yourself. Never mind. I always act myself when I'm playing a character in RPG like Elder Scrolls and Fallout. I don't... Guys, this may be a shock, but this is me. My character is who I am. I talk like I think like I talk. Sometimes. Wait. Yeah. This is how I am. I hold conversations like I have them on here, except I don't usually talk to myself. That's I'm getting used to it. I overthink things, and I have conversations with everyday people like I do on this show. The point is to take the conversations I have and expose more people to these conversations and see if they help. Now, is being exposed to my conversation building on your life? Is it increasing in your knowledge, your thought processes? Is it giving you a different way to think about things? So then relay this to your exposure to a video game. If a video game offers you something new, does something cool and creative, doesn't that then change your thought processes? Don't you then sometimes, if the game is really good or you're used to it or you get a critic and something in the game drastically changes and you watch the change of it, that change is going to really stand out. And as that change stands out, it kind of sticks in your head. It changes the way you think. The way the game changes, the way the maneuvers change, what game you're playing from day to day might change the way you think about running your day. If you're playing a difficult game and you're getting your ass beat because the whole point is to play a difficult game, you might get a bit angry and not want to cook dinner that night. Might be something simple like that. Or not want to eat because you got so angry your stomach got upset. Something stupid like that. But people know what I'm saying. Games subliminally and subconsciously change the way you think and act. Now, I'm not saying that video games make hostile killers or dangerous people, because it's not just the video game, it's the mentality of the person playing the game. If they can't mentally handle the concepts being given them into the game, then they shouldn't be playing the game. And yeah, that's partly up to them not knowing they shouldn't be playing the game. We're probably playing it anyway, not thinking about these things. Am I more or less likely to shoot up a school if I play Grand Theft Auto and go shoot up people in front of the school? This is the curious question I have. I'm not going to disagree that video games affect people. But to what degree? And how do they affect people properly? And unfortunately, it's expensive, interactive games like Call of Duty and Battlefield, maybe. I don't even know what's the hit games right now because I won't even buy them. It's these games that have the ability to draw on psychological reviews of how to keep a person interactive in a game, how to draw their attention back to specific things, how to divert their attention away from what the side characteristics of the game are, or other options you can do to keep you running through the game, because that's the point of the game. So how do you put this? What's a good way to explain this, anybody? Other than what I've said, that everything you do and everything you interact with in a day is going to change the way you feel and think about things. It's going to change the way you process your interactions. Being aware of the impact that the interactions you have on you is what makes you stronger than the person who shot up the school. Because if they did get it from a video game, or they watched it in a movie, or they got the idea and thought it was cool, well, you maybe thinking the idea is cool versus enacting the idea. Very different idea, very different concept, very different play out. It's not even the same world. But to somebody who can't mentally process some things, maybe that is the same world. Maybe that's the goal, is they're bored and this is something they got the idea subliminally or subconsciously through a video game because of things that happened in a video game or in the news. This is a worry that, yes, things do affect you. To what point? To what ability can they affect you, and how much is that going to change the way you go about your daily living? Even on a subliminal, never. I had never had murderous thoughts. Well, I've had those heart beating, want to get moving thoughts after a video game. Like, I got to get away from this game. I can feel my heart thumping. I got to get moving. I got to find something to do. But never really murderous. And even if you do get those angry, murderous thoughts, you realize what they are, and you're like, oh, that's stupid. Nah, I can't do that. Other people might get them, and they'll be like, well, it sounds like fun. I've never done that before. Yeah, adrenaline. Very good. It is adrenaline, and it's a matter of your ability to control and react to the adrenaline that's stimulating you. Alright, guys, that's going to be the board for today. It was a lovely board. Some interesting topics. Definitely do enjoy myself every day I play this game, which is right now is only 3 days a week. Monday mornings at 9 a.m. Wednesday and Friday evenings at 7 p.m. all Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget, everybody, join myself in Data Wasteland as we delve into our next topic, which, depending on myself and the weather, might be decided about, an hour before tomorrow's show. We'll see what happens. What else do I gotta tell you? I'm gonna be on a special on Sunday, the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everybody please pay attention to whatever media, and I will try and post everything as often as I can. I'm getting horrible at it right now. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I want to say I really appreciate everything you all do by showing up and participating in the audience. I have been the NumbedSkull. This has been the Great Debate. I feel like I'm pulling an irate bear, and I apologize, so let me play some outro music and see you all later.